Wow, 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 wow. Share match on and 5 on your show today. So I like African sounds. These are African sound that has been there for so many years. It's a beautiful sound. Just listen to it. These are African sounds that we need to agree on, that we should listen to it regularly, often. Just kind of reminding us our own doctrine as Africans, our own culture as Africans. So it's a beautiful thing. We should promote this. So I'm here in Chirundo. This is Chirundo, Zimbabwe border, Zambia. Kicharo Z. On your show, Shared Match 195 D. Okay. On the journey promoting peace and unity among the African nations. Say. Okay, so today I'm gonna talk on seems to be the ongoing conflict between Zimbabwe and Zambia. Yeah, Zimbabwe and Zambia. It's not a nice thing. Beautiful music, by the way. Yeah, beautiful music, yes. So, some ongoing conflict between Zambia and Zimbabwe. It's a joke. There's one thing that is not safe. There's one thing that is not safe. You know, whatever happens at a higher level, higher leadership, the people that gets affected are common citizens. So, common citizen, majority of citizens, people are the ones that feel the heat. It's unacceptable. Recently, there was some statements that were made by Mnangagwa, the Republican president of Zimbabwe, when he took a tour to Russia. So he said a couple number of things there in Russia. So the Zambian government didn't set well for us, especially to our head of state, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. What is said, what President Mnangagwa said there, it was unfortunate that it was publicized on a public medias, you know. It was all over on the internet. It was all over on the internet. It was unacceptable. maybe the intention was good, but it didn't set well with Zambian government. It didn't set well, didn't go well. In as much as maybe Mnangagwa or the Zimbabwean Republican president, maybe he did in good intention, with good intentions, but it never set well. Someone can say maybe it started during the election in Zimbabwe, when His Excellency the Republican President of Zambia, Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, when he sent Dr. Novas Mumba there to monitor the election there. As you all know that President Hakainde is the chairman of politics and defense and security affairs in SADC region. So some election that were there, he sent Nevas Mumba to go and monitor the elections. So according to the report that came from Nevas Mumba, representing the chairman of SADC politics and security internal affairs, the report didn't set well with ZANU-PF Zimbabwean government. So someone can say whatever Mnangagwa said in Russia, it's because of the report that came from Nevas Mumba. Someone can say that. So regardless of whatever the both sides, what's going on, the conflict that is going on, I think for me, I would rather to stay off the media, because if the conflict is being fought or is being represented on the media, it's never ends, it never set well. There will be no resolve. It never resolved. If the conflict is on the media, it never resolved. So I would like the two heads of state to have a proper dialogue, a meeting, a cross-door meeting, a bilateral talks, a good understandings. They should come in good terms, because as Africans, the more we do that, the more we fight. It means we are giving room, we are giving space for the traitors or the so-called dictators or the Western powers to penetrate through. No, there's this culture, divide and conquer. So every time that we fight, we are giving room to the Westerns to penetrate, to infiltrate our land, our economy, our politics, our governance system, to manipulate our economy, our energy, our resources. Let you guys come up with some ways how we are going to resolve this conflict. We don't entertain such things, that this thing that is going on. As citizens, general citizens on the ground, we are the one that suffers the most at the end of the day. So if these two elephants fights, the grass always suffer, just like everyone says. So Don't let the grass suffer because of your fight. If you want to fight, find somewhere where there is no grass, so that you fight alone, you finish alone there, so that you don't end up so that the grass at the end of the day doesn't die. Because if you fight on the grass, when the grass is still green and fresh, when you fight on it for a minute, for an hour, for a day, for a week, for a month, for a year, what will happen when the dry season comes? Definitely the grass will dry up, and at the end of the day there will be no grass at all. And when there is no grass at all, the elephants that depends on the same grass for food consumption, it will starve, and when it starves, it will die. So please find ways how we are going to come up with a proper understanding, mutual understanding. You agree on one thing so that you can have the same song, same tune, same language. Zambia and Zimbabwe are not far away from each other. The last time I checked, the distance between Zambia and Zimbabwe is just lack of proper accounts abilities, let me say, just 2 minutes away from Zambia. So we are a neighboring country that we have been there for so many years. We have brothers and sisters that lives in both countries, here in Zambia, there in Zimbabwe. So the conflict must not be entertained, must not be tolerated. So as heads of states, we should champion these conflicts. We should promote peace and unity regardless of whatever is happening. Let's make sure that our people, they don't engage in this conflict. Promote peace and unity at the end of the day, so that our people, both sides, can travel safely. Because what will happen each and every day if both sides of these cadres start exchanging words vulgarly, what will happen at the end of the day when we run out of words? We will engage ourselves into physical battle, and once into physical battle, there is no going back. We don't want to end up like Russian-Ukrainian war, like the Israel-Gaza, Palestinian, like in Sudan, like Rwanda and DRC. As Zambians, we are well known with the peace that we enjoy. So I'm sure it can be resolved. 2 days ago, or a day ago, there was a summit in Harare that was supposed to be attended by all heads of state in SADC region. But unfortunately, our president couldn't travel. Dr. Hakainde Hichilema couldn't travel to the summit. Rather, he sent Mlambo Haimbe to represent the whole entire country of Zambia. Yeah, there's nothing wrong sending the foreign affairs minister, because it's also part of his job as foreign affairs minister to represent where the president is failing to travel. But this is not the traveling that Hichilema couldn't afford to travel. Well, if he can afford to travel as far as Britain, England to go and meet King Charles there, if he can mind to travel to USA, all these far places, if he can travel to Russia, what can stop him to travel here in Zimbabwe? If he wants, he can walk with foot. He can still reach in Harare. What has stopped him to go there? What stopped him to go and attend that summit? It sets a high tone why he couldn't travel. It sets a high tone. Something somewhere, it is something somewhere. There's something wrong somewhere. So it has set a high profile for him not to travel, but rather he has to attend a ceremony somewhere and to officiate an opening of mine. Karumbira there. So he decided to go and attend the traditional ceremony there, rather than to go and attend the SADC meeting summit in Harare. So it has set a high tone for him not to travel. So meaning the conflict is bigger than we thought, because if it was just a small issue, I'm sure he would have traveled. But because there is a bigger threat that he couldn't travel there, I don't think if His Excellency Mnangagwa could do the same. If the threat is bigger than this, the way we thought it was, I don't think even Mnangagwa can travel to Zambia as well, because the threat is bigger than we thought. There are a lot of SADC leaders in Harare. Why him? Why him? So it's a question that needs some answers, that needs some explanation. Why him? So, meaning the threat is big, the misunderstanding is big, that's it need a serious ruling, a serious meetings, a serious calling that need to be addressed. It's very urgent. It's an urgent matter that need to be resolved, because if this thing is not going to be resolved this year, next year, after this year, 2016, 2026, beg your pardon, we are having some elections here in Zambia. It might affect might affect Zambians' elections in 2026 if this thing is not gonna resolved. Okay, what will happen if the same president wins again 2026? What will happen? So it means the conflict will go on for 10 years. And in these 10 years, if this conflict goes on for 10 years, it won't sit well. At the end of the day, we are going to see troops being deployed in some borders. And once we see that, it's a big trigger that it can lead to war. If the heads of states are not in good terms with each other, definitely it leads to war. And once it leads to war, the ones that suffers, they are the citizens. So let us not entertain that. Ministers, the people in government, the officials in the government, please encourage the two heads of state to come in good understanding with each other, so that we don't end up like Ukraine or Gaza there, or Israel, or the Sudanese, or Rwanda and DRC somewhere there. We don't need that. We are peaceful countries, we are sisters, we are brothers. We have been there for so many years before the Southern Rhodesia, before the colonial masters, before independence, before we are colonized by Western powers. So please, let us encourage unity. And to the general citizens, both sides, please let us abstain ourselves from this war, from this conflict, because once the war starts off or kicks off, we are the ones that gonna taste the pudding. We are the ones that we're gonna taste the burning fire. We are the ones that gonna suffer. So as general citizens, let us stay aware, let us abstain ourselves from this conflict. Let this conflict stay there between the heads of states or the officials in government. Let the governments handle it delicately, in a peaceful way, in a peaceful manner. Let us not engage in as much as we want to try and defend our leaders. Please let us not do so, because it's gonna lead to a big fight, and we are going to make our citizens suffer at the end of the day. So let us promote peace, let us entertain peace, let us come together in unity, and let us know that we are brothers, we are sisters. So that's the message for today. Peace, unity, love, that's the charm. So the heads of state, the officials in the government, encourage the solution to be found quickly, because for His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema not to attend this summit, it has set a big tone on SADC region, security-wise, political-wise, economic-wise, because mostly what is being affected is the economy. Economy suffers if the neighboring countries are not in good terms. So let us promote that. Let's promote that. Peace, love. Here your boy, Shadmatch 195, Chirundo, Zimbabwe border. I travel to Zimbabwe. I visit Zimbabwe often, and I have a lot of friends there in Zimbabwe. I have a lot of friends in Zimbabwe, so I cannot allow such unacceptable behavior to happen or to proceed to penetrate or to destroy the relationship that we have as Zimbabwe and Zambia. So boy, here in Chirundu, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Chirundu border. Peace to you all. Peace to Africa, love to Africa, unity to Africa, harmony, like the music that is being playing here. It's a beautiful song, beautiful music that is well in harmony, well harmonized. The dynamics, fantastic, fantabulous. Peace to you all.